All right, I'm back. Like I was saying in my last video, I've been watching the channel No Guts, No Glory. Her name is Kathy, and she is very fun to watch. She does a lot of Dollar Tree hauls. So, yeah, and I like watching those kind of things. But she did a pet peeves list, and I think she got the idea from somebody else, but she was going through some of her pet peeves, and I thought it'd be fun to list some of my own. So I'm hoping others will do a pet peeves list, because it's kind of fun to learn about each other and, you know, whatnot. So my first pet peeve is cigarette butts. I don't smoke, obviously. My husband does. He keeps talking about quitting. He's tried to quit several times. When I first met him, he was smoking about 3 packs a day, and now he's down to a pack a day. But if he gets around his friends who also smoke, then it goes up to like a pack and a half, you know. But cigarette butts, because he throws them. I mean, I have buckets placed, you know, in like in his garage area. There's one out back where he smokes all the time. There's one in the front. So there's plenty of spots to put cigarette butts, but he has a habit, especially out back, to throw them off the deck into our yard, and it drives me nuts. He did it this past winter, and after the snow melted, there were like piles of cigarette butts, and I was like, really? You know, but do you think he would get out there and pick them up? No. Okay, so number 2 is laundry on the floor. Again, I don't know if it's a guy thing or what, but the basket could be right there, and my son does the same thing, and the laundry is on the floor. I'm like, you guys throw the laundry by the basket. You know, apparently you missed hitting the basket, but you can't get up and pick it up. Bugs me. Number 3, waiting for an appointment when we were on time, but we have to wait. I know other people have mentioned this. You set up an appointment with the doctor or whatever. They expect you to be there. Some doctors, if you're not there within a certain time, like if you're going to be, they give you 10 or 15 minutes, then you have to call and reschedule. And I know one of my doctors, you have to call and reschedule if you're going to be more than 15 minutes late. Plus, I would get charged like $25 or $30 for missing that appointment. But then there's times that, you know, hello, I'm there, and I'm waiting more than 10, 15 minutes for the doctor. Crazy. Number 4, parking in a handicap spot and getting looks. I've mentioned this before. I have MS and fibromyalgia, and when I park in a handicap spot, which I don't always do. I mean, if there are open spots that seem reasonable distance, I will park in those and leave the handicap spaces open for somebody else. But sometimes the parking lot is crowded, and I take the handicap spot. I have a right. I have a placard, and whatnot. Especially on holidays, you know, when everybody's at the stores. Yeah, I usually park in the handicap spot. But I get the looks I get when I get out of the car or my husband's truck. It's like looking me up and down because I have no obvious disability. It's just people are very ignorant and need to learn that there's many invisible diseases. All right, number 5 is parents that sign their kids up for multi-sports and misses or leaves early from one sport. So, like I mentioned, my son is in baseball. There's been several times that kids, well, let's say during fall ball, there's kids also signed up for football and soccer. So some days of games, especially, now practice, okay, you gotta leave early. But for games, we have just enough kids. When the whole team's there, actually we have one extra kid. But some days, we only have just enough kids to play. So, but there has been a few times now that different kids have said, oh, I gotta leave early because I got a football game I gotta go to, or my soccer game is at this time and I gotta make it to that. If you know that your kids' sports are going to interfere with each other, why would you sign them up for both? I don't get it. And it really bugs me because, then we sit there like, okay, now what? So it bugs me. Number 7. I think this is number 7. No, this is number 6. I'm sorry. I don't know how to count. Is Michael's employees not knowing what you need. So there's been, sorry, there's been many times that I've gone to Michael's, and it is particularly Michael's, and I've asked for a specific item, and they look at you like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I know they have it. They have to have whatever it is I'm asking for. It's just, I couldn't find it or whatever. But there have been several times that they look at you like you're an alien or something. And then sometimes they go, no, I don't think we have that. I've never heard of that. I don't think we have that. And they'll ask somebody else, no, we don't have that. And then as I'm shopping around, I find it. It just bugs me. Educate your employees. When you get something new, show them where it is, where it's going to be stocked, on the floor. Show them what it's for or whatever. Educate them. Number 7, parents focus on cell phones at kids' games and playgrounds. I also have a smartphone. I do occasionally, if I get a text message or whatever, I'll pick it up and look at it. Yes, sometimes I do respond to it, but you see these parents at games, baseball games, football games, whatever, just constantly looking down at their phone. And some of them are playing games or whatever on their phone. I mean, I've seen it again and again at playgrounds. I don't go to playgrounds so much because my son's older. But when you go by playgrounds, all you see is the parents. I'm like, shouldn't you be focused on your kid in case something happens, or maybe interact with your kid? It's just like, come on. Or even at restaurants, you see parents. It's not just kids anymore. It's parents down. Nobody knows how to talk to each other anymore. Number 8, people never take responsibility for their actions. What kind of says it all. I just hate when, somebody is in the wrong and, just fess up to it. Big deal. Fess up to it and move on. Why do you have to make excuses or whatever? Just, yeah, I did that. I was wrong. And move on. It bugs me when you don't, take responsibility for whatever you did. Number 9, people that leave trash on trails or by waterways. I don't know how many times, my son and I kind of go exploring, or we went, excuse me, we went fishing this summer. And walking along, and you see certain little areas that, people have gathered, and there's trash all around. Come on. Can we pick up from ourselves? That's kind of like taking responsibility for yourself, Why do we have to destroy what little, areas that we have left of nature? And the last one is using the word I can't. Ever since I've had kids, the word I can't stand. I can't stand. Every time you ask them to do something that's a little bit hard, I can't. Well, you can. It's just you don't want to. It's just that word drives me nuts. Everybody can do whatever it is. I mean, sometimes it might be hard, or, it might be out of reach for you that you won't be able to do it, but I do not like that word, and I need to stop saying hate, because my husband hates the word hate. Ever since I met him, he says, you should not say hate, because that is a very harsh word, and he's right, and I need to break myself of that, because my son also says that word now, and it is my fault. So that is my top 10 pet peeves. If you can join along and also put your pet peeves and make a video and let us know, it's kind of fun to hear from everybody. So I think after all the pet peeve lists, we should do a top 10 of things we do not like. Whatever it is, just things we do not like. So whether that's food or just anything. So that's my suggestion for the next list. But let's see how far this one goes. So I hope everybody joins along. And if you could like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to gain some more subscribers. I want to start doing some little giveaways, or, little surprises here and there. So like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.